Mojn! Welcome to the channel Tech and Eyes. Today I'd like to show you some tips and tricks for this Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 5, especially if you are new to Samsung phones and the Fold phones in particular, and if you've been using Apple's iPhones for the past many years perhaps, then I'll give you some of my favorite tips and tricks. And if you're a pro user already, then I don't think this video is for you. But of course, I would always appreciate you guys to stick around and watch the video. Let's get started. Alright, if you're new to Android and Samsung in particular, then the first feature I want to show you is a rather simple one, as it is on almost, if it is on every single Android phone, so it's not just Samsung's phone. It's of course split screen mode. I absolutely love this. You just open up an app like YouTube, for example, and then you can open up, let's say, Chrome, and then you can just swipe up, click on the app you want to split screen, and then it shows this option here. Click it, and you're able to choose Chrome, for instance, and then you have both of the apps running side by side in this split screen mode. Now, the Z Fold 5 here especially is very, very good at this. And you can then change it from side to side, and you can also change the aspect ratio of the split screen. If you love to have the Google Chrome and YouTube apps open in the split screen, you are able to save it onto your phone, onto the home screen of your phone. Now I've just saved it, and you can see it pops up here on my home screen, and I can just click it and then it'll go straight into it. But just trying to close it up and then open it again, you can see it just opened it right back up. So it's just a very neat feature to have on Androids, and I really, really love this feature. A little bonus info is the fact that on the Z Fold 5 here in particular, you're even able to have another app open here. So you're actually able to have three apps in split screen mode, which is very nice. And you're even able to have a fourth app. Let's see which one I should use. The camera app, for instance, as a pop-up window here. So that's very nice, and you're even able, it's like a floating window, so you can move it around and you can even resize it. Very nice feature to have if you love to do more things with your phone and don't just want to be locked into one app at a time. It's also really useful when you're using a banking app. You have to write in a code or something, or have to pay a bill, then you can have the bill on one side of the screen and the banking app on the other side of the screen. Next feature I want to show you is this Edge panel. This is a very, very nice way to get quick access to your apps. If I'm, for instance, in my Instagram page here, and I just swipe in from the side, then I'm able to go right into my Google Chrome, and I'm able to go into the camera app, for instance, and I can do all this without having to go back to the home screen. I just think it removes a step when navigating the phone, so it's much easier, much quicker to switch between apps. And you can customize which apps you have on this Edge panel here. You can pretty much put every app in here, but it does have a maximum amount of apps you can have on this Edge panel. Now you can see I have the maximum amount right here, so you can have quite a lot of apps. And it also has this feature up in the top. The first 4 apps are the ones you used the most recently, so that's also very nice for the apps you use a lot of the time. I can also have a compass app, I can have a weather. Nice feature to have, and I mostly use it for the quick access of the apps, I must say, but even for that alone, I think it's a nice feature to have. You're even able to move this Edge panel thing around on the screen. If you don't want it to be as high as I have it, you can just move it down, and you can even move it to the other side if you want. And it's very easy to decide where you want it to be. You can just go into your settings, search for the edge panel, and then you can just choose to deactivate it if you don't want the edge panel on your phone screen. So it's very easy to adjust it however you want it to be. On Android, you can customize your phone's layout much more than you can on the Apple side of things. The thing I love on the Samsung phones in particular is this theme store that they have. You just long press on your home screen and tap on the theme store, and then you'll get right into it. It's a very nice and easy way to customize your phone and make it look brand new, and you can even change it up. I love to search up the seasons and, for example, this autumn themed one, and you can see it changes everything from the always on display to your keyboard, and the colors are matching. The icons are also matching the colors of the theme. There are lots of free themes like this one on the theme store, but of course there are also some you have to pay for. And if you don't want to buy an entire or use an entire package of a theme, you can also just choose. This down here is the themes, which changes everything from the background to the app icons. But if you just want a new background on the phone, you can also go into that here. And then it's just the background. You can also choose just to change up the icons with this one. There are also plenty of always on displays that you can choose from. So it's just a very easy way to make your phone entirely your own. Well, I know some people who are just starting out using their Samsung phone, they don't even know that this option exists. They just find some photo from their gallery and put it on as the background on the phone, and that's also fine if you just want that. But this is just, it's so fun to really get into it and make it look the way you want it to look. Another thing that's very neat on Android phones is the fact that you can place your apps wherever you want on the screen, almost at least. So if I want to have it right here in the middle, I can just do that. Whereas in iOS, all the apps have to go in these lines, so you can't just move all of your apps to one side of the screen if you wanted that. That's impossible to do, but you can do it here on Samsung's phones. If I remove an app from the home screen, then it'll just go into this app drawer, where I'm also able to organize my apps into folders like I've done here. Yeah, it's just an easy way to don't fill up your home screen if you have a nice background picture you want to look at and stuff like that. But yeah, it's an option to do this, and I really like to keep it in folders, as you can see here. Also, there are lots of very neat widgets on the Samsung phones. You just long press on the home screen, and then this widgets option pop up, and then you can see all the widgets you can add to your home screen. So that's very neat. Another thing I really like about the Samsung phones, and probably also other Android phones, is the fact that you can customize whatever app you're opening by double pressing the power button. By default, the Samsung phones turn on the camera app, and I actually really like this, and I always just keep it at that. Because when you turn off the phone and then turn it back on, you can also customize which apps you have quick access to down here in the bottom. If you want to change up which apps you can quick access on the lock screen, you just go into the settings apps, and then you swipe down until you see the lock screen option. Then you choose to enter this, and then you can just click on the app, and you can change it up for almost every app you have on your phone. So that's also a very nice way to get quick access to some apps from the lock screen if you need that. Another thing I'll also suggest you to do, even though you're just starting out with an Android phone and Samsung phone in particular, is to download the Goodlock app. You can do that from the Google Play Store, because using Goodlock, you're able to customize your phone experience even further. I've downloaded the camera assistant, for instance, and I've also enabled this quick shutter function, which makes the phone able to snap photos even quicker than it does out of the box. This, of course, sometimes may impact the quality of the photos a bit. I've had a lot of issues with Samsung's cameras when it's coming to shutter lag, so I really appreciate this quick shutter option that you have through the camera assistant in Goodlock. and you also have this One Hand Operation Plus app. Through this, you're able to choose different ways to interact with your phones with one hand. Samsung also have their own notes app called Samsung Notes. It's very nice, and you're able to import PDFs, and you can write with the S Pen here. If you've got the S Pen case with your Galaxy Z Fold 5, or if you have the S23 Ultra series, then you can just write on the screen like this. You can change the layout of the paper of the notes. If you want it lying like with lines like this, you can take a photo, but just take a photo, boom. Then I can put it into my note like this, and I can change the sizes. I can also cut off things I don't want to have in my picture, and then I can write on top of it. You can just do so much stuff, and this note-taking app for me, I think, is actually a lot better than Apple's own note-taking app, because you can actually use it for taking handwritten notes very good, and it has, I think it's more intuitive to use this app compared to the iPhone app. I don't know if you can do more with the Samsung Notes app, as I do know Apple's Notes app is also getting rather good with time, but I just think this app is so easy to learn, and you don't have to spend money on any other note-taking app. This is just fine. Also, it syncs with your other Samsung devices if you have the tablet or a Samsung PC, so it's very nice. Just as nice as Apple's Notes app. On iPhone, of course, you are using iCloud for storing your photos, and you can't use that with your Samsung phone, but instead you can just use Google Photos like I do here. I use it to store all my photos. I'm able to access it very easily on my MacBook and my iPad, because I can just download the app on my iPad as well. If you don't get rid of all your Apple devices and just want to have an Android phone, you can still have your pictures shared between your devices rather easily through Google Photos. You just have to open Google Photos on a browser on Safari on your MacBook, and you can download the app on your iPad, and then you're just able to see all your pictures, just like using Apple's iCloud service through their Photos app. So I think it's very easy to use Google Photos, and I love the fact that it works across Android and iOS. So if you're like me and you like to try out both Android and iOS from time to time, it's very nice to have this Google Photos app to sync up all your photos, so you don't have to transfer them whenever you're changing from one phone to another. Another neat feature that the Samsung phones have is reverse wireless charging, and it's very easy to access this and use your phone as a wireless charger. You just have to swipe down into the quick panel and find this icon down here, tap on it, turn your phone around, and another important part is you have to remove your case if you have any case on your phone. At least I had to do that. And then you just take a watch or whatever and place it on the phone, and now you see it starts charging. So I don't use this feature often, but it is neat to have if you're in a pinch and you have to charge up your earbuds or watch or even another phone. You can also charge up other people's iPhones if they run out of juice. Now, the Samsung phone also supports different kinds of flex modes when you're watching videos on YouTube, for instance. I open this one and I just fold it up like this and prop it up. You see that it instantly goes into this flex mode. Also, I have this other mode enabled called Flex Panel, which makes it easy for me to pause the video, tap play, change it to another video, go back and forth, and I can choose to remove it if I want to, because YouTube has its own version of this, but not every app has this. I know Netflix doesn't have this, so it's just easy to have this option. And well, how do you enable this? I just show you right now. Search Flex, and then it should go up. Otherwise, you have to go into Labs and then Advanced Features, and then tap the panel for Flex. And then you can just tap on this button to activate it. You can also choose to make it so every app supports multi-window, as some apps like Instagram doesn't want to do this, but by enabling this, Samsung can force the apps to act so they are able to open in split screen. So I also really recommend you to activate this feature. You just have to go down in your settings under advanced features, under labs, and then you're able to activate this. This was just my quick tips and tricks for new users of the Android interface and the Samsung interface in particular. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, you can leave a like, maybe even subscribe. Also, you can leave a comment down below in the comment section if you have other tips and tricks, and maybe I'll also learn something too. And yeah, I just want to thank you for watching this video, and have a nice day or night depending on when you're watching it. Mojn!